Hi friends, we're in the Wallowas today. It's a mountain range out in Oregon, and just want to take a moment to do a little art journaling with you. And we're gonna enter in through a body scan, and then give ourselves some space to actually put some of the visual language that's in our body into a page in our art journal. So when we talk about like our life and living color, some of that is the sensations and emotions and kind of visual language that comes up when we actually give ourselves space to um, be present with what is in our body. So I invite you just to close your eyes and feel, you might even put your hands together, and as you're closing your eyes, just feel the sensations of your fingers gripping on your hands, your thumbs. Feel the feeling of them, your fists clenching and then releasing. Take a few deep breaths. And relax your hands open. You might put them on the ground, flat down, or just face up. And what we're going to do is we're just going to give some attention to the different parts of our body, starting from our head, and we'll end at our toes. So as I lead you through the scan, just notice if there's any visual expression, sensations, or language. So start up in your head, top of your head, behind your eyes. Are they heavy, tight? Your jaw, relax your jaw. Just notice if there's any tension and what it would look like if it was in colors, shapes, and lines. Move into your throat and the base of your skull. Notice if this area is open, closed, fragmented, blocked, and what that would look like in living color. Sometimes a color will just pop into your mind, and try not to judge it. Just notice it, and there will be a lot of parts of your body that are just plain neutral. So you might not notice anything at all in some areas of your body. And what's most important is that you just pay attention to the things that jump out at you most. So now move into your shoulders. You might even lift your chin a little bit, allowing some space in your neck, in the front of your chest. Notice if there's any heaviness, any feeling of weight on your shoulders. Notice your arms, the backs of your arms, the fronts of your arms. Is there any color, shapes, lines that you see moving through your arms, moving down through your forearms and into your hands? Any vibrations? Now travel back up through your arms to your chest and your heart space. Does it feel protected? Is there a block around it at all? Is it open, fluid? Is there a color there? Move down into your gut space around your belly button. Feel yourself breathe in, inhale, exhale. Notice if there's any maybe anxious energy, any heavy energy, bloated energy, and what would that look like if it were in a color? And a color might just pop up into your mind. Lines, shapes, a metaphor. Move down into your hips. Any tightness, pain. Move into the fronts of your legs, the backs of your legs, your knees, your shins and your calves, and into your feet. Notice the energy running up and down your legs, or possibly you might not notice anything in this part. But if you do, what would it look like? Is it fragmented lines, fluid lines, bubbly, circular? And does it run up and down, or is there any place in your legs or hips where there's almost like a cutoff of the energy? Move into your feet. Notice any sensations in your feet. Notice, do they want to run? Do they feel tired? Do they feel heavy? If heaviness were a color, if energy were a color, what would it be? And just allow yourself now for a moment to focus on whatever it was that stood out to you in that body scan. And I'll invite you to actually pull out your art journal. Okay, I have my one that I took with me to Europe. Pull this out and turn to a page. You might already have some color or lines on a page, for instance, some of these pages, and there might be something that you, as you're flipping through, that actually connects to something that you saw in your body. And if that's the case, I would just start on that page and just let it be kind of a beginning point. You might accentuate different areas or colors if there was a color that you saw. If you didn't, as you flip through, if you don't necessarily see a page that really connects to anything that you saw in your body, what I would do is just start with a blank page. And so here's a blank page / with words on it. And what I have today are some watercolors with me. And so you don't have to use watercolor. I would say use whatever you have with you. It could just be a set of pens. And just for instance, one thing that stood out to me in the scan was this heart area, and the color that jumped out at me was green. So that's the place I'm going to start. I also noticed in my own body some different, maybe a little more fragmented feeling up near my throat. And I felt like my legs, there was energy that was pretty fluid moving up and down through them. So I'm gonna start with those things, and as I keep working with them, there might be some other memories like that body intelligence where you remember the thing that that stood out to you only when you're actually creating. So don't worry too much about it if you don't remember everything right now. Just begin with the one or two things that you did remember, and start making some marks on your paper. Now, I also want to say, so we just did a body scan, and you can do this at any time by yourself. And then when we move into the art, you can create a body map in a lot of different ways. You can call it a body feelings map. You can just call it a body scan. And some people like to actually draw a body, like head, arms, hands, and my body is going to be very organic here, but I'm going to show it to you. So some people might actually draw the form of a body like that. Other people, I'm going to do it all on the same page today, might want to just do a circle and create a space that is almost like the barrier of the body skin. And then within that circle, actually create some different parts. and the different parts would be the parts of the body. So for instance, here, now I created a circle, and now there's some different parts here. My body form is in it, but it doesn't have to be. So I could actually change that body form a little bit. And what I might do is, like, if I had the most area of my body that I remembered was my heart area, and it took I would maybe take up the most space in my drawing with that green color as a starting place. So you're actually working with the areas of your body that stood out to you most, have them fill the most space in your circle. So that's another way you can do it. And then one other way for those who are a little bit more structured in the way they think about just a lot of things or want to do things, I'll just do it down here so you can see the drawing better, is just to actually make like a rectangle with different blocks in it. And you might just write the name of them: heart, head, back, legs, and then just with color, shapes, and lines, do some expressions in these different parts. So those are 3 different ways that you might do your body map or your body scan, your visual body scan. And one of the reasons I find this really helpful and important is that the more that our body has this intelligence, and the more that we become attuned to the different messages that are in our body, the more power that we have to actually like slow things down and come into connection with our nervous system, and actually calm our nervous system and enjoy life more. So the reason that I like doing this in my art is because one of the reasons is it helps me kind of sublimate it and get it outside of my body so that I can see what's happening. And it also makes it kind of fun. And it really cements the new neural pathways in my mind to remember the sensations, feelings that are familiar, that might come up a lot. So for instance, someone might often feel a block in their heart, or they might often feel like this kind of like cut-offness in their throat, or this block in their voice. And so you can actually create a body map and then go, what does it need? And we'll talk about that a little later. But for today and for this moment, I just want to give you a little bit of time to actually put some colors down here and create your own little body map. Okay, so I'm going to do this with you. I'm going to start a little bit with my green. Don't forget to breathe when you're doing this. You might even loosen the grip on your brush or pen, just bringing more mindfulness and attention and intention. And try not to think too hard about this when you're doing it. Remember, just get some colors down. Right now I'm starting with color, but you can also just start with lines. A whole bunch of little fragmented lines says something really different than smooth lines that are flowing. I'm gonna add some flowing lines down on my legs because we just hiked pretty quickly in a rainstorm, actually, and my legs were really moving, dancing over the mud puddles. As you can see, the rainstorm has passed and now it's blue skies outside. Sometimes circles for people represent wholeness, sometimes circles represent completeness or healing, containment. I find that they show up a lot in my different artworks. You might find that certain shapes, lines, show up a lot in your own artworks. And that is part of your language for your life in living color. Okay. For right now, I'm going to stop there and just show you some of what's happened. So this flow of energy down through the legs, this kind of heart area here, just noticing a little bit of protection around my heart. And so this circular part there. I have done this for years with a lot of different people, and it is amazing to me the very personal visual expressions that come when people take a moment just to sit and visualize what's in their body. And then the question to ask always when we do this is, I wonder what that part needs, or is there a lot of kind of contentment and peace with what's there? Is it a good feeling that you want to keep going, and how would you keep it going? Just a few things to think about today. I hope you've enjoyed making a little art with me, and continue to work on your own body feelings maps in whatever ways feel most true to you. And I really want to keep encouraging that all of this is for you to respond in ways that feel easeful to you, that feel true to you, and take what fits for you and keep using that in ways that serve you in your art journal yourself. Okay, we'll see you again soon.